What's up guys, welcome back to our channel, The Forest Service 2. Today, we're going to be reacting to his story part 2. Okay. So, I guess we're going to go with Poplar again.
I was making the final payment.
Oh wait, why is that so loud? Ow. My ears.
On my stepdaughter's wedding venue when she walked in, holding the arm of a man I'd never seen before. Dustin called me scared of the deep end in front of half the pool, so I lied and told him I wasn't scared. I just didn't do regular dives anymore. He asked what I did do. My mouth said, the flying shrimp, before my brain could stop it. Dustin crossed his arms. Never heard of it. It's advanced, I said. They don't allow it at public pools. He walked over to the rule board and read every line out loud. No running, no glass, no horseplay. He turned around. Nothing about shrimp. Dustin looked at the crowd and said, guess he doesn't know how to do it. If I didn't jump, every kid at the pool would know he was right. I grabbed my cousin's full-face swim goggles and snorkel from his bag by the snack bar, pulled them over my face, and tried to tighten it. But Dustin yelled, let's go, shrimp, before I could figure out how to tighten the strap. If I was going to die on this diving board, I was at least going to look official. Half the pool followed me to the high dive. Dustin climbed up right behind me, close enough that I could hear him laughing.
But the flying shrimp is not
He cupped his hands around his mouth. Flying shrimp. The chant started right away from the pool below. Shrimp, shrimp, shrimp. I walked to the end of the board, adjusted the giant mask, and looked down through foggy plastic. The lifeguard blew her whistle. Jump or climb down. Climb down sounded perfect. I turned around, took one careful step toward the ladder, and the loose snorkel swung into my mouth. I spit it out, stepped wrong, and my wet heel slid off the edge. My heel went out from under me, and I grabbed for the rail but caught Dustin's ankle instead. He went tumbling off the platform right behind me. The snorkel spun away like a tiny helicopter. I hit the water sideways, knees up, arms wrapped around my legs, curled into the exact shape of a shrimp half a second before Dustin landed beside me. We both came up at the same time, me coughing with water shooting out of my nose, Dustin sputtering with my full-face goggles crooked across his eyes, the nose cover mashed sideways into his cheek. The chant flipped. Dustin got shrimped! Dustin got shrimped! The lifeguard walked to the rule board, picked up the chalk, and wrote one new line under no horseplay, no flying shrimp. I pulled the snorkel back into my mouth and said, that's why it's advanced. Dustin called me scared of the deep end. I was exiting the plane with Derek when a wall of cops stopped us and pointed. Whose suitcase is this? Derek was holding both of our suitcases, and I stuttered. That one's mine, officer. But before I could ask why, he shoved me against the plane and snapped cold handcuffs around my wrists. You're coming with us. Derek, my best friend of 2 years, screamed, officer, what did he do? But they ignored him and hauled us both into a cold, windowless interrogation room. My heart pounding because I had no idea why this was happening. 2 officers dumped my suitcase onto the table, and out fell a small baggie of white powder. I gasped because I had no idea what it was or how it got there. A cop shoved it in my face. Fentanyl, enough to kill 1,000 people. This alone is life in prison. My knees buckled. Someone had set me up. That's not mine. I have a clean record. Derek jumped in. We always go on trips together. He'd never do this. He's my best friend. Then a detective leaned in. We've been tracking a family smuggling ring for months, and everything led to you. My mind raced because the only person I'd been with was Derek. I turned to look at him, and that's when I saw his hand shaking as he shoved something deeper into his pocket, the outline of a small baggie. My whole body went cold. Did he put it in my suitcase? Derek caught me staring and calmly turned to the officers. I don't know what's gotten into him, but drug smugglers deserve to rot in jail. The cops nodded, grabbed me, and dragged me toward the door. My own best friend had framed me. I had no idea why, but I wasn't about to rot in jail for it. So I screamed, check his pocket, check Derek's pocket. The officers stopped and turned to Derek, and his face went white. This is ridiculous. Put him in a cell, but they noticed him panicking, so they patted him down, and out came the same baggie of white powder that was in my bag. The room went dead silent, and Derek went to run, but the cops tackled him. His face went cold and empty. A detective cuffed him and turned to me. His family's been running this ring for years. They needed someone with a clean record to go down for it, so they used you. He smirked at me. You carried for me every single trip. You just never noticed. I was never his best friend. I was his get-out-of-jail-free card. I was exiting the plane. I turned on my
crazy. Okay, let's see this one.
And grabbed my controller, ready to game all night. But then a window smashed behind me. I turned and saw a masked man with a neck tattoo climbing in, and my whole body instantly froze. Mom! My throat closed up from fear mid-scream, and when Mom rushed in, she went pale and threw her hands up. Sir, take anything you want. Please don't hurt us. The masked man stared at her for a moment, then looked around the room, and his eyes settled on me. My heart pounded as he walked towards me with a grin. The pistol on his hip flashed, and I remember freezing in fear, thinking he was going to kidnap me. I mouthed at Mom, hit him with the lamp, because his back was turned to her, but she was too scared to move. The man reached me, and his hand shot out. I closed my my eyes, bracing for contact, but he reached past me and started shoving my Xbox into his bag.
No,
My stomach
not the
curled because
Xbox.
that was my favorite thing in the world. I'd fought with Mom every day for weeks to convince her not to sell it, and he was taking it. I grabbed the man's arm. Please, no, sir. Take anything else. But Mom crossed the room and snatched my hand away. I'm sorry, sir. Her voice shook. Take what you want. Don't listen to my son. She glared at me. Our safety is more important than your Xbox. She backed away, gripping my arm.
No. The Xbox is more important than his and his mom's safety. It's easy. No, bro, I'm just joking, guys. Do not listen to that. Okay.
And I watched the man grin and climb out through the broken window with my Xbox. I dropped to my knees, crying and still hyperventilating. I thought I was going to die and my Xbox was robbed. But that night, I woke up from a nightmare about what happened when I heard Mom's voice outside. Thank you so much. I didn't know how else to take that Xbox from him. I looked out, watched as Mom gave $100 to a man with the same neck tattoo from earlier. I realized she'd traumatized me with a fake robbery just to steal my Xbox from me so I couldn't game anymore. At least she doesn't know about the Nintendo Switch hidden under my bed. I turned on my Xbox.
No. The Nintendo was a good idea, not gonna lie. But how would he buy it? Because we never knew that if he had a parent or not. So, like, the only parent that we knew, he had the mom. So how would he get the Nintendo?
I was almost asleep in row 2 when every screen on the plane changed to a single black screen with white text. You are asleep. We are sorry for what is going to happen. A woman a few rows back gasped so loud that half the cabin turned around, and I heard someone whisper, "Wait, are we actually asleep right now?" My hands went cold, gripping my armrests.
That's crazy.
We were 30,000 feet up. There was nowhere to go, and for one horrible second, I genuinely couldn't tell if this was real. Maybe I really was still half asleep, and I was about to wake up disoriented in my own seat with my neck cramped from the headrest. The guy across the aisle from me grabbed his own face. This isn't real. This isn't real. A little girl started crying. Mommy, are we going to die in our sleep? Her mom couldn't answer her, just kept saying, shh, shh, while staring at her own screen like it might change again any second. A man near the exit row shot out of his seat, yanking at the door handle like he could actually open it mid-flight. Something's wrong. Let me out. A flight attendant grabbed his arm. Sir?
Yeah, every time I go to planes, for some reason, I try to open the exit door, and it never opens. It's pretty weird.
Sit down. That door won't open up here. I watched her other hand shake as she reached for the intercom, and my stomach dropped because I could tell she was about to say something to the whole plane that would make everyone panic. My legs wouldn't move. Every part of me wanted to just stay buckled in and let someone else handle it, because what if I was wrong? What if I said something and made it worse instead of better? But I unbuckled anyway, my hands shaking as bad as hers, and ran up to her. Wait, look at every screen first. What if someone hacked the entertainment system? I don't think we're asleep. Someone's just messing with us. She took a deep breath and nodded, holding the phone against her chest instead of lifting it to her mouth. Then the captain's voice came through the speakers. Folks, we've confirmed a security breach in the entertainment system only. Every other system on this aircraft is working perfectly. We're sorry for the scare. The man at the door let go of the handle and sank into his seat, his whole body shaking. When we landed, the pilot walked back through the cabin and stopped at my row. My flight attendant told me you helped keep things calm back here. He shook my hand. Thank you. I still don't know if I would have done the same thing on a different day, but that day, I did. I was almost asleep in row 2 when...
Okay, that was actually a very good one, but just let a man sleep, bro. And how did he wake up from a screen that has no noise? Next.
The robot I built to do my chores went rogue and was stalking me through my own house. It was programmed to eliminate everything dirty it found. I didn't realize that I hadn't taken a shower that day, and I was filthy from assembling all the parts. Now that mistake could cost me my life. The minute it came online, I became its prime target. There was nowhere to hide. The robot had my scent and was closing in slowly.
He's cooked easy. He's cooked.
I was cornered with no escape route. It raised its left arm. At the end was a brush with steel bristles. Eliminate mess by any means necessary. The steel brush began spinning with enough force to strip the skin from my bones. As the robot moved toward me, it knocked my grandmother's urn off a shelf.
No! Not the whatever he said. No.
It shattered, and her ashes went everywhere. The robot immediately shifted focus. New target acquired. It used its other arm to vacuum the ashes.
Go fast and take a shower.
Took my opportunity and ran past it. Sorry, Grandma, but thanks for buying me some time. As I ran through the house, I knocked over every plant, plate, and vase I passed, making more mess to distract the robot. I was great at robotics, so the machine made quick work of it. I ran up to the bathroom and hid in the shower, but it wasn't long before it found me. I looked around, nothing to grab but the handle to turn the shower on. I was cooked. Then an idea struck me like lightning. I threw the shower on. Cold water ran down my body, washing the dirt away with it. The robot stopped in its tracks. Target lost. It turned around in search of more mess, exposing the off switch on its back. I jumped out of the shower and threw the switch. The robot collapsed.
You're not the target anymore. Why would you turn off? You can clean your house perfectly. I don't get it.
I looked around my house. There was still a lot to clean up now, but after all of that, I was happy to do it myself. The robot I built
I would be too.
I opened the door to my mom's friends, and they instantly ran upstairs into my room. I followed them confused and saw them opening my clothes drawers, inspecting dust on my windowsill, and grabbing candy bar wrappers off my desk, yelling, "Why isn't this cleaned?" At least that's how Mom made it seem it would be when she had me deep clean my room 2 hours ago, spraying antibacterial fluid in corners I'd never even touched. But when Mom's friends came over, not a single one went to my room. They were too busy drinking wine and making an actual mess in the living room, while I took off my cleaning gloves, having just wasted hours to please people who never even cared. I opened the door to my mom's.
That's crazy. I mean, unless they have a kid, you and the kid would probably like go to your room and then just start gaming or something like that.
Dylan got in my face and crossed his arms. "You can't be here. This is my cliff." I told him this cliff was part of nature and didn't belong to anyone, then looked down at the 100-foot fall into the water. My legs shook, ready to do the cliff jump I'd been training for all summer. But then I felt Dylan shove me from behind. He knocked me off balance and I started descending 100 feet. I screamed, unable to control the fall, and smashed into the water face first. I came up.
Oh yeah, guys, after the short, one more short after this one. And the video's over.
10 seconds later, water pouring from my nose as my whole body hurt. Dylan hurled through the air seconds later and landed in the water, pointing at me and laughing. "I told you this cliff was mine." At the hospital, doctors told me the impact had crushed my lungs, broken my jaw, my orbital bone, and both shins. I spent 6 months in the hospital getting surgeries and a hollow tube placed in my chest just so I could breathe again. My 2 brothers sat with me every day, swearing they'd get revenge on Dylan, but I stayed silent the whole time because even talking hurt too much. When I finally came back to school on crutches, Dylan took them from me on my first day. "What's wrong, Cliff Boy? Can't handle a little shove?" He shoved me in the back with the crutches just like before, and I immediately fell, my legs too weak to hold me up. I cried in pain as Dylan laughed, and at home...
Wait, why is there nobody else in the classroom? Why is there no teacher, no kids, no nothing?
Told my brothers everything. The rest of the year, Dylan splashed me with water and hit my chest, knowing my lungs were weak, even threatening to push me again if I ever came to his cliff again. So I did. That summer, I walked up to the cliff, my heart pounding as I stepped with my crutches. Dylan was preparing to jump from 110 feet, and when he saw me, his face lit up. Here to get pushed again? He walked towards me, but I threw my hands up. "I'm not here to jump. I just want to watch you do what you're so good at." He laughed as I stroked his ego. "That's right. I'm the best." He turned around, but right as he started running towards the cliff, I stuck my foot out. Dylan tripped and face planted in the dirt. I laughed at him, but then I saw him curling his fists, ready to get up and beat me to a pulp. That's when I whistled. My 2 older brothers instantly emerged from the bushes and picked Dylan up before he could react. He thrashed, but they were too strong. I walked up.
Those are like the best brothers you can get. The best brothers you can get would plan with you and just throw him off the cliff. Give him his revenge.
"Or we're throwing you down." He instantly started begging. I'm sorry, please let me go." But I just shook.
You better be sorry and you're still going out the cliff.
My head. "I don't think so, Cliff Boy." I snapped my fingers, and my brothers tossed Dylan over, sending him flying 110 feet down
Karma. Instant karma.
His own cliff. I watched him smash into the water uncontrollably just like I had done, and laughed to myself. We'll see how he likes having no lungs. Dylan got in my face while on the train.
Now that was deserved. Next.
Toddler sitting next to me started screaming and throwing his fists in the air, but his mom was glued to her phone and ignored him completely. Another passenger told her to control her kid, but she replied, "I know how to handle my own child," without even looking up from her phone. Her toddler punched the windows and cried louder, and that's when she leaned over and snatched my phone from my hands. She gave it to her kid and told me, "2 minutes, he's having a meltdown." The kid stopped screaming and instead started smearing his chocolate fingers all over my phone screen. I was jumping on my...
Why would you do that?
Trampoline when the old...
Well guys, this is the last one.
Man next door sprayed me in the face with his hose.
Why would
I
you
lost
do
my
that?
balance and missed the trampoline completely when I came down. Mr. Crane, why would you do that? I could have been really hurt. Don't talk back to me, boy. I don't want to see you bouncing on that thing again, or I'll evict your family by the end of the week. He meant it. Mr. Crane was our landlord. He lived in the unit next door to us. We only ever saw him when he came to dig in his garden, or when he came to collect rent. The trampoline was my favorite thing in the backyard, so I decided to wait it out and come back when the coast was clear. A few hours later, I was jumping again. Every time I bounced, I could see into Mr. Crane's backyard. He was gardening again. But instead of planting flowers, I saw that he was burying a human hand. I bounced again. This time, when I looked over the fence, Mr. Crane was staring directly at me. I told you I didn't want you jumping on that damn thing anymore. Now you'll pay. He ran full speed and hopped the fence into my backyard. I used my jump to get as close to my
Ninja warrior. We got a ninja warrior.
back door as possible and ran into the house. He followed me up the stairs into my room and stood in the doorway swinging his shovel at me. I was trapped. I looked out the window into the backyard. Below me was the trampoline. I dove out and aimed for it. I hit the target perfectly and bounced onto the ground. Mr. Crane jumped after me, but I was able to grab our garden hose and spray him in the face the same way he did to me. He came down just as hard as I did earlier. When he landed, he dropped his shovel. I knocked him out and called the police. They searched his home and found the remains of the family who lived in our unit before us. My favorite pastime may have saved my life. I was jumping on my...
Okay, so that was a good tour, and we're ending this video. So, bye guys.
Trampoline.